Welcome. Today, we'll explore the concept of elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand measures how sensitive the demand of a product is to a change in its price. Elasticity can be classified into three categories: elastic, inelastic, and unitary elastic. If a good is elastic, that means it is influenced greatly by price. This is then determined mathematically. A value greater than 1 is elastic, less than 1 is inelastic, and equal to 1 is unitary elastic. It is calculated by this formula: percent change in quantity over the percent change in price. To find the percent changes accurately, we need to use the midpoint method. Now this is done by dividing the change by the value halfway between them. On screen is an example of a demand curve, with a change in price from point A to point B. Through the on-screen calculations, we can find the percent changes in quantity and price with the midpoint method. We then divide the quantity by the change, and we get our elasticity of demand value of 2.33. Remember that elasticity of demand values greater than 1 are elastic, meaning this graph represents an elastic trend. But what real-world factors affect the demand for elasticity of a good? Let's go through each one. Availability of substitutes. Can it be replaced? The availability of substitutes with similar function to a good makes it more elastic since they can just use the substitute instead. Inversely, if the good is not easily replaceable, it is inelastic. Now, is it a luxury good? Is this good essential? Luxury goods are elastic since consumers don't have to use the good if the price increases. Income spent on the good. Is it expensive? Goods that use a large portion of income are elastic since people care more about changes in price. Time elapsed since a change in price. Long term, people find acceptable alternatives to goods, meaning elasticity increases over time. Now let's showcase this with a high elasticity example of vacations. Now, can we replace vacations? Well, vacations are recreational, and there are many recreational alternatives, such as seeing a movie, camping, or playing games. This makes it more elastic. Now, are vacations essential? No, they aren't, since people don't have to take vacations. If it gets too expensive, they can just not go that year. This makes it even more elastic. Now, what about the portion of income? Depending on the trip and duration, it can be very expensive. For instance, a week-long vacation to the US is about $2,000. A 10% increase in price would already be an extra $200. These high prices make it even more elastic. Now, what about the time since the price changes? Travel prices change quite a bit, which wouldn't imply elasticity, but all other factors are heavily elastic. From these factors, we can see why vacations are highly elastic. Now, in this video, we talked about calculating the demand of elasticity and the factors that affect it. Thanks for watching.